Thank you, Amuk. Additional Solicitor General of India, Senior Advocate Shri Anil Singh ji, Adhivakta Parishad's National Secretary Mrs. Anjali Dharap, Konkan Prant General Secretary of Adhivakta Parishad Shri Anand Naik ji, Jayanta Zaibhave sir, who is our faculty today, other lawyers, law students, friends. I am privileged to be here in this august audience and to speak on Swami Vivekananda and Law. I will not take more than 15 to 20 minutes. As you hear the topic, even I was puzzled, as you are now puzzled, that what Swami Vivekananda and Law will have a connection in between. But like it is said about Maharshi Vyas, who wrote Mahabharata, that Vyasochistam Jagat Sarvam, he touched almost every aspect of human life in Mahabharata, as we have read, as we have seen. Like that, Swami Vivekananda also touched almost all aspects, not only of human life, but of national life as well, ranging from law, education, spirituality, then national renaissance, national integration, problem of languages, about Sanskrit, about Upanishads, about our all other scriptures. So that was not a big problem. But I had to do little research, read his works, collected works, and collect the information about law. Now recently I argued a petition for a respondent university which was filed by some law students, and their main demand was to postpone the exams, in the alternative to take online exams and to have the exams in MCQ format. That was their petition. Now I was opposing as I appeared for the university. Now I wondered when I got the instructions from the university that there were more than 450 different examinations of different vocations which the university was holding. Like there were pharmacy, then engineering, architecture, all other vocations, then law. Only law students had come to the court and no one else. So I thought, what could be the reason behind this? That thousands of students, lakhs of students are sitting, giving the examinations in different vocations, but only law students. But I was not wondered, because the legal awareness is important to come to the court. And as we read our history, our freedom struggle, those who led the freedom struggle, those leaders were either from legal background or they had studied law. You take Mahatma Gandhi ji, Pandit Nehru, then Swatantraveer Savarkar, Lokmanya Tilak, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. All of them had studied law, some of them were lawyers. So this legal awareness amongst the law students about their rights, about their alleged rights, I may say, or their constitutional remedies, what can be done, how to move the court, and therefore only they had come to the court. Petition was dismissed, that's another thing. But with this, Swami Vivekananda's father also, Vishwanath Datta, was a lawyer in Calcutta. He had a law firm in the name Dhar and Datta. So Swami Vivekananda also had this background, but he did not complete the law course. Because interestingly, when he went to the law college, his master, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, said that it's not his way. There are some other plans waiting for Noren, that is Swami Vivekananda. And even Swamiji had no much interest about this legal profession. Very interestingly, I may read one letter written by Swamiji to one of his acquaintances. Very short letter. He says, "Dear Mrs. Bull, the Raja Yoga book is going on splendidly. Shardananda goes to the state soon. I do not like anyone whom I love to become a lawyer. Although my father was one, my master was against it, and I believe that that family is sure to come to grief where there are several lawyers. Our country is full of them. The universities turn them out by the hundreds. As Lanedesh said that near about 8 to 9,000 new entrants come every year. What my nation wants is pluck and scientific genius. So I want Mohin to be an electrician. Even if he fails in life, still I will have the satisfaction that he strove to become great and really useful to his country. In America alone, there is that something in the air which brings out whatever is best in everyone. I want him to be daring, bold, and to struggle to cut a new path for himself and his nation. An electrical engineer can make a living in India." It's not belittling the legal profession, but the situation is such that whether lawyers understand their duty towards the society. But as we see, lawyers have led the freedom struggle also. Now, about his thoughts on law, Swami Vivekananda had given speeches, he had written letters. So, from those speeches and letters, we have to gather his thoughts on various topics. Now, in one of the speeches he gave, he mentions about the problem of multiplicity of laws. At that time also, we means our society, had various laws, do's and don'ts. So he speaks about it, and I must read his own words. He says, "I disagree with the idea that freedom is obedience to the laws of nature. I do not understand what it means. According to the history of human progress, it is disobedience to nature that has constituted that progress. It may be said that the conquest of lower laws was through the higher laws, but even there, the conquering mind was only trying to be free, and as soon as it found that the struggle was also through law, it wanted to conquer that also." Pausing here for a moment. Disobedience to laws of nature means not disobedience to civil laws, disobedience to laws of nature. So there is law of gravity. If we completely obey the law of gravity, there couldn't have been progress in the aeronautical science or engineering. There would not have been missiles who break the law of gravity. Likewise, the disobedience to nature of laws gave birth to inventions. That's what he says. Further, coming to our this civil laws, so the ideal was freedom in every case. The trees never disobey law. I never saw a cow steal. An oyster never told a lie, yet they are not greater than man. This life is a tremendous assertion of freedom, and this obedience to law carried for enough would make us simply matter, either in society or in politics or in religion. Too many laws are a sure sign of death. Wherever in any society there are too many laws, it is a sure sign that that society will soon die. If you study the characteristics of India, you will find that no nation possesses so many laws as the Hindus, and national death is the result. But the Hindus had one peculiar idea. They never made any doctrines or dogmas in religion, and the latter has had the greatest growth. Eternal law cannot be freedom, because to say that the eternal is inside law is to limit it. And he further goes on. Now we see, if we compare these thoughts in 1800, 1860, 70, etc., what is the picture today's? In today's modern society also, we have thousands of laws. Many of them have become redundant, obsolete, but still we have them. Recently, this new government took it up the mission of declaring these redundant laws repealed and annulled. But still we have various laws, not only acts passed by the parliaments or state legislatures, but we have notifications, government resolutions, everything we have, which causes multiplicity. And then he moves on to one more aspect of dharma and religion. Now that's also very interesting. Whole life of Swami Vivekananda was for the Hindu way of life, and that was not for Hindu religion as such. Now how to differentiate this? The great exponent on constitutional law, retired Justice Durgadas Basu, as we know, D.D. Basu, very beautifully explains. He says that religion and dharma are two different words. Those can't be used interchangeably. One cannot substitute the other. He says that religion includes some and excludes all others, while dharma includes all and excludes none. Which means there are fixed tenets of religion. If you believe in them, if you obey them, you will be of that particular religion. But dharma is for all. Dharma is a way of life. Dharma is duty, because it's a Sanskrit word having various meanings. In Sanskrit we know that one word has various meanings, like drava or dravya means money also, dravya means liquid also. Artha means money also, artha means meaning also. So like dharma is duty, dharma is way of life, dharma is rule of law, dharma is justice. In fact, the Supreme Court of India has motto, Yato dharmas tato jayaha. So where there is rule of law, where there is righteousness, there is victory and triumph. It cannot be where there is religion, there is triumph. Yato dharmas tato jayaha. Recently, when Justice Abdul Nazir, the judge of Supreme Court, retired, in his valedictory speech, he reminded us, Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. And he explained that Dharmo rakshati rakshita means if you protect the dharma, dharma will protect you. So you protect the law, law shall protect you. And therefore, coming to the last point which I wanted to make, that even the Adhivakta Parishad has a motto, Nyayaha mama dharmaha. So it's our duty to protect the law, and the law shall protect us. Now coming to the conclusion, that Swami Vivekananda had future plan for strong nation, or rather strongest nation, as he used to say, Vishwaguru Bharat. And he said that he could see that Bharat Mata is sitting at the Simhasana of Vishwaguru, guiding all other countries because of our great spiritual past. And I shall read only 2 paragraphs and conclude. In essay titled The Future of India, he says, and I quote, "Children of India, I am here to speak to you today about some practical things, and my object in reminding you about the glories of the past is simply this. Many times have I been told that looking into the past only degenerates and leads to nothing, and that we should look to the future. That is true, but out of the past is built the future. Look back, therefore, as far as you can, drink deep of the eternal fountains that are behind, and after that look forward, march forward, and make India brighter, greater, much higher than she ever was. Our ancestors were great. We must first recall that. We must learn the elements of our being, the blood that courses in our veins. We must have faith in that blood and what it did in the past. And out of that faith and consciousness of past greatness, we must build an India yet greater than what she has been. There have been periods of decay and degradation. I do not attach much importance to them. We all know that. Such periods have been necessary. A mighty tree produces a beautiful ripe fruit. That fruit falls on the ground. It decays and rots. And out of that decay springs the root and the future tree, perhaps mightier than the first one. Out of this decay is coming the India of the future. It is sprouting. Its first leaves are already out, and a mighty, gigantic tree, the Urdhvamula, is here, already beginning to appear, and it is about that I am going to speak to you. Those are his words. And lastly, he says, the one common ground that we have is our sacred tradition, our religion. That is the only common ground, and upon that we shall have to build. In Europe, political ideas form the national unity. In Asia, religious ideals form the national unity. The unity in religion, therefore, is absolutely necessary as the first condition of the future of India. There must be the recognition of one religion throughout the length and breadth of this land. What do I mean by one religion? Not in the sense of one religion as held among the Christians or the Mohammedans or the Buddhists. We know that our religion has certain common grounds, common to all our sects. However, varying their conclusions may be, however different their claims may be. So there are certain common grounds, and within their limitation, this religion of ours admits of a marvelous variation, an infinite amount of liberty to think and live our own lives. We all know that at least those of us who have through, and what we want is to bring out these life-giving common principles of our religion, and let every man, woman and child throughout the length and breadth of this country understand them, know them, and try to bring them out in their lives. This is the first step, and therefore it has to be taken. That's what he has said about future of India. Now I will conclude by one shloka in Mahabharata, where the Bhishmacharya, Pitamaha Bhishma as we know, lying on Sharapanjar, that is bed of arrows, and he was telling Dharmaraj Yudhishthir. From that address, this shloka I will explain, and I will stop here. That shloka is, न राज्यम न च राजासी न दंड्यो न च दांडिकः धर्मेणैव प्रजा सर्वा रक्षन्ति स्म परस्परम. This means न राज्यम, there is no kingdom. न राजासी, there is no ruler or there is no king. न दंड्यो न च दांडिकः. So no criminal nor any judge to give the penalty to the criminal. And the next is very important. Dharmenaiva praja sarva rakshanti sma parasparam. All the people protect each other by the virtue of dharma. This is his address. So like we have Tantamukta Gav. If Gav is Tantamukta, then there will be no litigation. If there is no litigation, there won't be any judge. There is no requirement of punishment. If people are living or leading their lives by virtue of dharma towards each other. But this ultimate goal, this dreamy picture of a state is yet distant. So we all will have to strive for that. But till then, we have judiciary which we should hold in high esteem. And therefore, we must learn the system also, the legal system. And therefore, this today's function we have arranged. And therefore, handing over the charge for the next session, I stop here by giving you wishes for Makar Sankranti. You talk sweet to your clients who keep on asking where my matter will be get circulated. So, talk sweet to them. Thank you all.